So this is going to show you each of the answers for the 5 questions you had to do in the multiplying fractions checkup. So the first question you were doing was 2/3 times by 1/5, and for this it was simply a case of use your rule where you are multiplying the numerators, 2 times 1 to get 2, and on the bottom 3 times 5 is 15. No simplifying here to do, so your final answer for this one, and hopefully you did manage to get that, was answer A. For question 2, we would have had 2/3 times by 5/6. With this one, you can do the simplify before you multiply stage, so you can see top and bottom there you've got the 2 and the 6, both of those are in the 2 times table. So if we say 2 into 2 goes 1, 2 into 6 goes 3. There is no other cancelling between top numbers and bottom numbers. Remember, cancelling can only take place in that direction. So 1 times 5 would be 5, and 3 times 3 on the bottom would be 9. So that would give us answer A. Now notice that if you didn't do the cancelling, so you did it like this, so 2/3 times the 5/6, and you just went ahead and did 2 times 5 and got 10, 3 times 6 got 18. That answer is there, however, that's not the simplest answer, and when you do fraction calculation, you are always expected to come up with your answer in its simplest form. So at this point here, you would have had to say, well, both those numbers are in the 2 times table, and you would be dividing to simplify, so you would have got the same answer as the 5/9. So it's important that you understand with multiplying fractions, yes, it is okay to do this second method here, but you do need to remember your answer must be simplified. Question 3, with this we've now got the whole number and a fraction going on here. So to do 14 times by 5/7, I would expect to see you have written the 14 as 14/1, so that we can see it as two fractions multiplied together. And again, I'll be looking for you to multiply before you simplify, because it is easier to spot that 7 and 14, they're both in the 7 times table, so we can say 7 into 7 is 1, 7 into 14 is 2. If you do that, you get 5 times 2 on the top there, 10 over 1 times 1 on the bottom. 10/1, remember, any whole number over 1 is just the same as the whole number, so it's the whole number of 10, and of course that would have given us the answer of D. If you didn't do the cancelling, your working would have been the following. So you'd had 14 times 5/7, you would still have that 14/1 times 5/7. You would then be trying to do 5 times 14 on the top there, which would have given you 70, and then 1 times 7 on the bottom, and you are still having to simplify at this point, so you would be dividing by 7, which would get you to 10/1, which then needs to be written finally as the answer of 10. It's a bit shorter if you can try and spot making it simpler before you do the multiplying if possible. So number 4, right, we would be doing 10/14 times 21/45, and this is definitely where the cancelling method has an advantage. Nobody wants to be doing 14 times 45 on the bottom there, so you should be making this simpler. So looking for what you've got on the top, what you've got on the bottom. The 10, the obvious ones, 10 and the 45, they are both in the 5 times table, so we can say 5 into 10 would give us 2. 5 into 45 would give you 9. You can also look at the other pair. You've got 14 and 21. Both of those you can divide by 7. So 7 into 14 would give me 2. 7 into 21 would give me 3. Now you might think, oh, that's me, I've cancelled everything I can possibly cancel. However, you can also cancel between the two 2's here, and you can say 2 into 2 is 1, 2 into 2 is 1. As long as you're cancelling between a pair on the top and on the bottom at any point in time, it can be diagonally, it can be up and down the way like that. We can also cancel between the 3 and the 9, so we can say 3 into 3 is 1, 3 into 9 is 3. So our final answer, we're then left with doing 1 times 1 on the top there, which is 1, and 1 times 3 on the bottom, which is the answer of a third, which would be answer C. And I'm not doing the alternative method because it would have involved you in long multiplication to do 14 times 45. So this is the way to have gone. Question 5. Now we're into looking at mixed numbers with a fraction going on here. So in order to do 1 1/5 times by 2, we need to change the mixed number into a top-heavy fraction. To do that, we do 1 times 5, whole number times the bottom number. 1 times 5 gives us 5, add on the top number gives us 6. That's how many fifths we've got all together. The whole number of 2 can be written as 2 over 1. And now we're ready to do the multiplying. No cancelling to do here, so it's just 6 times 2, which will give you the answer of 12 on the top, and 1 times 5 on the bottom. That is a top-heavy fraction. Notice that none of the answers look like that. So what have they done? They've changed it back into your mixed fraction form, and the way to do that is you divide by that bottom number. So 5 goes into 12 2 times. You also get a remainder of 2. Now this 2 here, that tells you how many whole pieces you have, and this other 2 here tells you how many fifths are left over that you are not able to create into a whole. So 2 and 2 fifths would be your answer there, so you should have had answer A. So hopefully those are correct. Any corrections that you need to do, if you can do them and look at your own work